Hey guys, my name's Kyla, and I'm your host of That Christian Girl podcast, a podcast that's devoted to helping Christians of all walks of life be inspired and encouraged to reach their full godly potential. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you enjoy. Hey guys, welcome to That Christian Girl podcast, and this is your host Kyla, and I am so excited for today's episode. So for me, school is back in full swing. So I didn't do a Tuesday episode because my first day was Monday, so kind of crazy there. But I wanted to hop on today and talk all about discipline. And actually, this episode idea came to me on Tuesday night where I was sitting in my car and I was like, Kyla, you have to go to the gym. You have to practice self-discipline today. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that story within all of my things because definitely going to talk about that. But yeah, so I was just thinking, what do I want this week to be about? And I was going to do like routine reset, but you guys, I'm not quite reset in my routines yet, so definitely we'll have to do that one, I don't know, in a couple of weeks, but I have super fun stuff coming up, so make sure you follow or like or whatever this podcast, add it to your podcast library so you can stay tuned. Make sure to follow me if you have Instagram on Instagram at thatchristiangirl.podcast. I've started this new thing that I'm super excited about. It's called Car Talks with Kyla, and yesterday I put out a little poll asking, hey, do you guys like this? Because I put out one yesterday and the majority has spoken and people are really liking it. And I had a girl come up to me at school today and she's like, Kyla, I just love the car chats with Kyla. So definitely go and check those out because I think that's just a fun way for a little tiny bit of a devotion or just a little thing that you can take throughout your day. It's like 2 minutes long and super fun video. So make sure to go check that out after you're done listening to this. But let's get right into this episode. So my first thing is, what is discipline? And I'm not talking about like the discipline that a parent uses on a child when they're younger, like go sit in the naughty chair. Yes, we did have a naughty chair at my house. I was a little bit of a sassy girl. You guys, I think I was such a sassy little kid. It's kind of funny, and I'm glad that I'm not like that anymore. But definitely had some sass to me and definitely had to be disciplined as a child, but didn't we all? But I am talking about our self-discipline. So I even looked this up just to make sure that I'm getting it right. And this is the Google definition. And it says the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it. So that's kind of a meaty definition. I just kind of wrote it down and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But now reading it out, I'm like, that's a lot of words. And I have school brain right now where I'm just like, whew, my brain has exploded. But mainly, I watched a little video on this of Ashley Hetherington before I recorded this, and it was about discipline. And she said, doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. And I think she really just pulled that together so well because, like, the Google definition, it's like you need to have that self-control, so the ability to control your feelings and then overcome your weaknesses. So ability to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses, and then also to run after the things that you think are right. So to like try and accomplish your goals or try and add new healthy habits because that's what you think is right, which is healthy habits. Healthy habits are amazing. And then it's not just to be able to control your feelings and overcome your weaknesses, it's also to run after those habits and try and pursue those habits and those goals and those things, despite when you think you want to quit. So despite temptations to abandon it. So pursuing through something when it gets hard and being able to control your emotions and overcome your weaknesses. But mainly, Ashley Hetherington said it perfectly. Doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Simplest definition ever. So, you may be asking, why discipline? Why do I need discipline? You know, I have these goals, I have these habits. Why do I need discipline? Well, I was thinking, all of your goals and habit building is going to be impossible to reach if you don't have good discipline. You guys, to be able to really try and reach your goals and run after your goals and implement good healthy habits, you're going to need self-discipline. Because if you have no self-discipline and you're like, you have a goal to go to the gym every single day, but you have the temptation to just lay in bed and scroll on your phone. If you don't have self-discipline, you're gonna lay in bed and scroll on your phone and not go to the gym. So self-discipline is the core of your self-improvement. And if you want to read your Bible every single day and you don't have any self-discipline, one of those days you're going to be able to do like 3 days. And then the 4th day, you're just going to end up scrolling on Instagram instead, scrolling on TikTok, doing whatever you do that's not reading the Bible. So I just wrote down, discipline is the core of self-improvement, and you need discipline to be able to improve on your habits and everything else. So I also said your ability to stay consistent heavily depends on your self-discipline. What I do a lot is that I'll make a goal where I'll be like, okay, I'm going to wake up early, and then I'm able to wake up at like 5:30, 2 days. And then the next day I end up sleeping in. You guys, I need better self-discipline when it comes to waking up in the morning, and I'm going to be talking about like the things that we need to improve upon and what we need self-discipline for later, but I need to work on my self-discipline, and I think that's why I'm really trying to do this, is because I need this episode in my life. And the thing is that I have the amount of self-discipline because, I know I have to wake up, so I have to like actually get up, but I would want to wake up earlier and do my Bible reading in the morning. And when I don't have a good self-discipline day, I'm not going to be able to read my Bible in the morning because I won't feel like it. And yeah, so I just said that your ability to stay consistent heavily depends on your self-discipline. So that kind of just talks about what self-discipline is, but how do we get self-discipline? Hopefully I've sold you on the self-discipline thing. Hopefully you're sold and you're like, okay, yes, I need self-discipline. But Kyla, how? How do I get self-discipline? Because clearly you're saying that you're not perfect. So what are some tips you have for improving upon the self-discipline? So I wrote down, is it only 3? I think I only wrote down 3 tips, but there's a lot more and you can even look it up online. But here's like the 3 big tips about how we can get better self-discipline. So my number 1 tip is to pray. So I'm going to read a little passage. Did I get it from Ashley Hetherington's video? Maybe, but it's fine. It's going to be, the passage that I'm reading is 2 Timothy 2:1, which says, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." So I know I talked about that in one of my episodes. I used this exact same verse, but I was really focusing on the first part, for God gave us a spirit not of fear. But I really want to hone in on that last word, which is self-control, which is also self-discipline. So God didn't give us a spirit of fear, and God didn't give us a spirit that, will give up. He gave us a spirit of power and love and self-control, and God will give you self-control if you ask for it. So something that I've been really working on is that in my prayer journal, I'm like, Lord, please help me get up tomorrow morning and spend time with you. And I think hopefully throughout the school year and once I get like settled into the routine, it's going to be much easier to wake up, and I'm going to like my body will adjust to the new routine because I have been so tired lately. But I'm hoping that tomorrow, I'm going to pray about it like I always do. I'm hoping that tomorrow I will get up and I'll read my Bible, and hopefully I'll do the little journaling in it too, because the other morning that I read my Bible this week, I just highlighted, and then last night I went through and I read some, and then I did the little stuff on the margins. So, I was just going to say that God will give you the discipline that you need, and you just need to trust Him. So you need to just say, Dear Lord, please help me with my discipline today. Please help me pursue. Please help me reach all of my goals today and go through my habits today. And please just give me that spirit of self-control and self-discipline, and please help me improve upon my self-discipline. And then you can pray about your specific goals too. So you can be like, Dear Lord, please help me get up this morning and spend time with you in your word. Or, Dear Lord, please help me have motivation to go to the gym tonight. So you can ask God for the discipline that you need, because He'll give it to you. And you just need to trust that He'll give it to you. If you need help, I remember what Ashley Hetherington, yes, I'm going back to her, but I remember what she said. And she said in one of her videos, not that one, but she said, people always ask me how I get up so early. And she always just, before she even gets out of bed, she's like, Dear Lord, please give me the energy to get out of bed today. And that's something that I want to work on. I want to work on being like, Dear Lord, please help me get out of bed today. I've seen it a lot, because the thing is that God will only go so far. He'll give you that spirit of self-discipline. Well, He'll give you, like, if I've found in the mornings, because I'm doing my prayer journal a lot more, that if I pray about it, I'll be able to get up in the morning and I won't miss my alarms. But the problem is that I'll still stay in bed even though I'm like, oh, I should get up. So He'll help wake me up in the morning, but I think something that I really need to work on is praying for that discipline in the morning to actually get up and get out of bed, because God can only go so far. God cannot pick you out of bed and like bring you to the bathroom to go brush your teeth and wash your face to wake you up. God can't like lift, I don't know. He can't physically lift you out of bed. You have to be the one to get up and get out of bed. And that's just something that I've been finding where I'm like, okay, 5:30, I'm awake, but also I just want to stay in bed and I want to sleep more, So I'll wake up at that time and I'll be awake, but I don't quite have enough self-discipline to actually get out of bed and go do things. So just that's something that I need to improve on. So if you are sitting there and listening to this and you're like, oh, you understand me, you get me, oh my goodness. Yes, I understand you and I get you, because I think God can do anything, but you also have to try, not meet Him in the middle, but you have to put an effort in your part. You can't just pray for something. You can't just pray for self-discipline and self-control and then not try and improve upon your self-control as well. You have to put an effort to get that. God will give you basically anything that you ask for as long as it's in His will. And you need to pray for that, and you need to be trusting that He will do that for you, but then you also need to take that step towards that goal and towards that self-discipline to be able to actually do it. Because He can't, like I said, He can't physically pick you up out of bed and carry you to the bathroom and splash water on your face to make you wake up, or brush your teeth for you, because sometimes the toothpaste, it wakes me up, you guys. I don't know why, but I think it's like the minty thing. It just like wakes me up. I did that, I think, on Tuesday, where I just got up and I was like, okay, well, let me brush my teeth because it helps wake me up. Side tangent. But I'm just saying that you guys also have to put in effort in your side, and you can't just be like, oh, God, please give me self-control, self-discipline, and then not expect to have to do anything. Okay, my next thing, I've talked about this in I think it was my rest episode, question mark, where I talked about, like, no, it wasn't my rest episode. It was around the time that I put out my rest episode. I can't quite remember, but I remember talking about the 1-2-3 method, and it's for when you're, like, stuck on your phone and you're stuck in, like, the doom scrolling, or you're stuck just laying in your bed and not wanting to do anything. You can count to 3, and after you get to 3, you tell yourself, I gotta get up and I gotta go do that thing. And it's just for when you don't feel like doing anything, count to 3 and then start the thing. Because the thing is that when you're counting to 3 or down from 3, you don't have enough, your brain doesn't have enough time to be like, oh wait, but this is a reason why you shouldn't do this thing. No, you will not have enough time for your brain to really rebel against that idea. So try and count to 3 or count down from 3 when you're having troubles getting up and starting. My cat meowing in the background. I apologize. My third tip for how we get self-discipline and how we improve upon self-discipline is to make habit goals. So you don't want to make a whole long list of like 20 habits. Sorry guys, I just had to go put my cat out of my room, but I'll edit out that random pause, just so you know if I stopped in the middle of a stanza or whatever I was saying. So I apologize for the meowing. She sometimes just really likes attention. Anyways, I was talking about how we don't want to make a gigantic long list of habits or habit goals. So something that I'm definitely guilty of is that I have so many ideas for so many habits that I want to improve on. So I make a list of like 7 habits. And you think 7 habits isn't a lot, right? But to try and do 7 things every single day and like start from scratch every single day is going to be super hard. So what I found is that if you had an existing habit and you kind of fell out of it, usually it's a lot easier to get into that habit. So if you want to do like around 5 habits, that's what Ashley Hetherington suggested. Around 5 small-ish. It doesn't have to be super small, but around 5 habits that you want to improve upon. And it doesn't have to be like, if you want to get a good gym habit, it does not have to be that you have to go to the gym 7 days a week, because frankly, I'm not sure if that's even the healthiest thing to do, but you should try to go like, make the habit goal of, I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. And if you look back to my goal setting podcast, I talk all about how to set goals and how we set effective good goals. So trying to be specific in our goals that we are setting, and then making like habit goals. So that's like the habits that we need to achieve those goals. So last year, I kind of got out. I was kind of depressed last year, not gonna lie. And if I want to do a struggles episode, I'm just kind of waiting until the right time to do one, you know? But I just want to say that I'm pretty sure I was depressed. I was just stuck in a rut last year, and some of the good habits that I had built up and that I had done really fell to the wayside. So one of them was washing my face. And I remember in my little planner that I would use, so I would use Luke terms as I've talked about, and I would do like a monthly setup, and then I would do like weekly spreads for the next 4-ish pages, and I would always make habit goals. And I remember my first list of habit goals, and I think this was when everything started back up again. It was a new year, so I was like, "Ooh, gotta start all of these fun things, you know?" But I remember that I wrote down as one of my habits, wash your face. And that was just the habit that I fell out of. And you know what? It was so easy for me to get back into it. And I had that habit tracker, so I would check off the day and I'd be like, whoo, let's go. I got that habit done. You know, it was amazing. And I think if you've fallen out of some of those habits that you used to have, don't be discouraged, because if you do it, I don't know, for a week or so, a week and a half, I feel like it took me a week and a half ish to really get back into that habit and for it to become like more second nature. And the thing is that washing my face isn't always second nature to me, but I know that I should be doing it and I kind of have to do it. So I always tell myself, come on, Kyla, it's time to wash your face. And I always make the choice to wash my face at night. And that is like the habit that is kind of sort of second nature. I'm not sure if I have any like second nature things, but having that and having that built up with a little bit of a habit tracker is so good. And another thing that you can do for your habit tracker is you could do Bible reading. And I definitely had the pastor who would be like, Bible reading is not supposed to be something that you check off on a box. It should not be a box that you check off every day because you have to do it. You want to have that love and you want to have that drive to read your Bible, which I think will come with prayer. So if you're struggling and you're like, but I don't have that drive and I'm really trying to read my Bible, I think praying for that is going to really, really, really help you. And you know what? Sometimes you go through hills and valleys on your self-discipline and on your Bible reading journey. So, you know, you go through the valley where you're like, I have no motivation, I have no drive to read my Bible, I can't. But if you keep on working, you're going to start going up a hill. You know, it might be hard. It might be like, today I really don't want to read my Bible, but then you're going to get onto the hill. You're going to be so on fire for the Lord, and you're going to be like, woo, I'm reading my Bible, and I'm so excited. And then, you know, you might be going downhill again, and you might be like, oh, why am I losing this passion? You know, and I feel like for me, it's definitely a curve. It's definitely a lot of hills and valleys, and I feel like I'm not as woo, let's be on fire and let's do this as I was last year, but I'm definitely like trying to still read my Bible even if I don't want to, and I always like read it, and I'm always like really happy that I did. So, I was just going to say that it doesn't Bible reading shouldn't be something that you do just to check off that habit book. You should habit check mark or whatever, a little check mark in your habit tracker. Do it because you want to grow your relationship with God. But I think the thing with self-discipline is that sometimes you need to have that discipline. All of the time you need to have that discipline where you might be like, I really don't want to read my Bible today, but you force yourself to read it, and then you're so much better off after you read your Bible, which I've found. I don't know, I just feel so much better after I read my Bible. So you sometimes have to force yourself to start, and that's where the self-discipline comes in, where you are like, you can think, I'm practicing self-control right now, and I am practicing my discipline, and I'm like making myself have this Bible reading discipline even when I don't want to. And that's true discipline, you know, doing what needs to be done, reading your Bible, even when you don't feel like it. So that just really goes into any of your habits, and making those habit goals are amazing. And you know what? Sometimes having that habit tracker and seeing, oh, I have to read my Bible, and look at that unchecked Bible reading check mark, because there's so many different like apps or whatever that you can use, or just even like a physical, like, oh, here's my habits. If you see that unchecked box, you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta go read my Bible. So you're gonna go read your Bible. So just remembering that habit, and like reminding yourself of it with a habit tracker, and being like, oh, gotta go do that because I need to do that, is going to like really help you. So I already said this, but get a habit tracker or write your habits down and show yourself that every day. So something that could be great is putting a little sticky note on your mirror, or taping up a piece of paper somewhere that you look every single day, like reminding yourself of those habits if you don't want a habit tracker app. Or you could like write down your habits in like a planner if there's any habit areas, or on a piece of paper, or even like in your to-do for the day, writing down your habits every single day, so then you can be like, yep, I got the 5 habits. Would be so good, and it really helps like remind you of those habits that you're trying to build, and really help your self-discipline. And then my final thing is having a vision board for your background, and I feel like that really helps you set your mindset for the day, So remembering that you can make a vision board. I know I talked about that in the Holy Girl Summer series, but my computer background is a vision board, and I feel like I should update it a little bit. But it has like school stuff, and then it has like a few Bible pictures, and then it has like some journaling pictures because I got really into the journaling, and I'm not so into journaling right now. But that's completely fine because, you don't have to do journaling all the time. But trying to maybe make a little bit of a vision board. And I'm going to make an episode about like Holy Girl Fall, because I got a suggestion and I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. So I'm definitely going to talk about like more fall vision boards. If you want to just stay tuned for that, that's going to come up maybe not next week, maybe the week after. I don't even know. But you guys, it's so close to fall. I just can't do a fall episode in August. And actually, this is going to drop tomorrow, so that will be September 1st. But still, I refuse to buy anything. I refuse to buy the pumpkin spice latte before it comes September, because August is still summer in my mind, and you guys can't ruin that, even with your cute fall fits and your amazing fall coffees. So stay tuned, because I'm gonna try the pumpkin spice latte. You guys, I think I've had a pumpkin spice latte, but it's been so long, and it's just not the drink that I like go to Starbucks for, if you know what I mean. Like Starbucks, I always get the same exact thing, or usually I get the same exact thing. So usually I don't really do much seasonal drinks, but I think I might just do that and do a little review, because I think I'll like it, but I'm not quite sure. Okay, but needless to say, if you need help with the vision board, I have like a whole video on my Instagram about it. It's one of the first few videos. Guys, I don't have much on my Instagram, so it should be really easy to find. Or go back to my Holy Girl Summer episode and like learn about vision boards there. Or I think I might do like another video about a vision board reset once the Holy Girl Fall episode comes out. So just if you need help, like, oh, what do I want to add in my fall vision board, just stay tuned for either next week or the week after that. Maybe even next week, because September is fall. So maybe I'll have to do a fall episode next week. But yeah, so those are my 3 tips about how we improve upon self-discipline. So remember, the first one is to pray. The second one is the 1-2-3 method, and then the third one is to make your habit goals. So habits that go along with your goals, or just make goals to build up habits. Okay, my next thing is, where do we need our disciplines? So my number one thing is faith-based habits. So Bible reading is a big one. Christian media, so like songs and music, that's definitely a thing that I want to improve upon in my faith-based disciplines. And then prayer is the last thing. So the first thing about Bible reading is that, getting up, you don't have to do it in the morning. I know some people do it at night, which is amazing. Just do it when you can do it. Or the main pastor at my church, he was the speaker at our summer camp, and he talked about how when he was in high school, I think he did football or something, so he didn't have a lot of time. So he would have to wake up early for early morning practices, he'd go to school all day, and then he would have like an afternoon practice. But the thing that he found was listening to the Bible, and he got like a cassette tape of the Bible, and he would just listen to that all the time on repeat. And that would be the times that he would get his Bible reading in. So it doesn't have to be conventional. You don't have to just sit down with a copy of like a physical Bible every single day and devote 30 minutes to an hour of highlighting and journaling in it. It can be 15 minutes. It can be listening to something and listening to a passage in the car. Just trying to figure out a way to get Bible reading in. And go back to my first Holy Girl Summer episode because I talk a lot more about Bible reading, why we need to be in our Bible, and then also some tips. So make sure to go check that one out if you're like, oh, I don't really know where to start on Bible reading. And I would get into it more, but also I'm worried about this episode going long, and then I still have to like do a bunch of stuff tonight. So I don't have 2 hours to speak about like each thing, and I think I kind of went off on side tangents on how we improve upon our self-discipline. So I hope you guys enjoyed that tangent, but if you guys need a refresher or just some more inspiration for Bible reading, make sure to go check out Holy Girl Summer, Holy Habits, episode 1. So yeah, go check that out. The next thing is discipline in like our Christian media, so our music. And you would think, why would you need self-discipline for this, Kyla? Sometimes, you guys, it's hard not to turn on those faith-based. It's hard not to turn on secular music. Like, I'm definitely trying to improve upon the music that I listen to, and although there's still some songs that I like vibe to that are like secular, because I don't think that every single song that you have to listen to has to be Christian. I'm definitely not that person who will shame you if you listen to secular music, because I listen to it too. But something that I'm really trying to improve upon is listening to that Christian music. So I think maybe I'll just make like a story highlight or make some reels, because you guys, I'm trying to get better at posting and social media for the podcast account. But I've shared at least two of my favorite playlists on my Instagram stories. So after I'm done with this episode, I'll definitely go make that story highlight for you guys to check back on and figure out my favorites, because you guys, there's the indie Christian pop, and then there's also one that I recently found. I think it's called POV, Christian College Students Studying, and it just gets you in the mood to study. I don't think all of them are faith, like Christian, but like the majority of it is Christian music, and then there's also some just like lo-fi songs, and then yeah, it just gets you in the mood, you guys. Coffee shops and that playlist go hand in hand. Like when I was cramming on my summer homework, that was the playlist that I listened to, and the playlist that I listened to for 4.5 hours in a coffee shop while I did my schoolwork, and the study vibes were like no other. So definitely check that one out. Definitely check out the indie Christian pop. You guys, I'm gonna be maybe making new playlists and then also finding some fun playlists for you guys, because sometimes I used to make Spotify playlists all the time. I think it's been like 4 to 6 months or even more since I made a playlist, which is insane because I mostly just listen to indie Christian pop. But I think I might try and find like some Christian folk music because it's fall season, and all of that fun stuff. And the reason why I added this into discipline is that it takes discipline to turn on those Christian songs. Because you guys, sometimes I'm just not in the mood and I just really want to go to, I don't know, some kind of secular music that might not be the best thing for me to be listening to and putting into my mind. It's crazy to see how much of an influence music has on our mindset and our thoughts. Like if you're listening to I don't know, if you're listening to secular music that's explicit, that has like an insane influence on the words that you use. Like if you listen to explicit music, you're more likely to say bad words because you're putting it into your brain. But also I remember I was listening to like a podcast that I think it might have been Holy Girl Hotline, but they were talking about how, I think it might have been that one. You guys, I listen to so many different podcasts, but they were talking about whoever it was. They talked about how their, oh, what is it called? These girls like were having really messed up like relationships, or just like had lost hope in relationships, or just had like a very skewed view of relationships. And then the whoever was talking to them asked, well, what kind of music do you listen to? And they saw a trend in like Taylor Swift breakup songs. Well, a lot of just different breakup songs. And it's like fine to listen to those songs, but if that's what the majority of what you're listening to is, it's going to really skew your thoughts and skew like what you think about. So if you're always listening to some person, like some girl, cry about her messy breakup, you're going to have like really skewed views of relationships, and really skewed views of men. So trying to have like that positive Christian music that you agree with and keeps on like the good Christian vibes going, make sure to listen to that, even if sometimes it's not the thing that you vibe to. But like recently in the car, I've been like singing along to the Lauren Daigle, just having a good time and trying to like find the joy sometimes when I don't even want to listen to the Christian music, but trying to exercise that self-discipline. And then finally, I wanted to touch on prayer and how we need good discipline in prayer. And going back to my first episode, Holy Girl Habits, I talk about like the importance of prayer and how we're supposed to be praying a lot, but some different disciplines that you can get into are prayer journaling, which is the discipline that I try. The thing that I want to be very self-disciplined in is going to be prayer journaling. And, sometimes I'm like full 3 weeks where every single night I write in my prayer journal, and then sometimes I go like 3 weeks without writing in it, but trying to keep that discipline of the prayer journal. And then there's also like the prayer boards that people make, and even just like normal praying is fine too, you guys. Your prayers don't have to be this big fancy thing where you have like a whole closet dedicated to prayer. And if you do, that is amazing. I look up to you because I'm definitely not that girl with that prayer closet, because you guys, I don't have a room. But if you have the space and if that's something that you want to do, definitely go do it. And just remember to try and always go to prayer first. And you guys, I struggle with this too. I struggle with like going to prayer first because definitely I want to go to my friends. I want to tell them, oh, this happened and like this is the struggle that I'm going through, and just like listen to me, not listen to me, but like, these are my problems and all of that stuff, and I don't go to God first. So I'm trying my best to try and go to God first with everything that I do, but trying to be really disciplined in my prayer and really disciplined in my prayer life. My next thing of where we need discipline is our health habits. So these are working out, healthy eating, and healthy eating. So first I'm going to talk about my little gym story that I told you about in the morning. In the morning? In the beginning of this episode. So, as I said, Tuesday I was like, I'm going to practice self-discipline and I'm going to go to the gym. And I put in my AirPods and I listened to a little sermon, and it was amazing, you guys. I just did a stair stepper for 15 minutes. But my problem is that when I take a break from things, it's really hard for me to get back into them. So the gym was closed Wednesday through Sunday for deep cleaning. So, I had to go in, I had to help clean because I worked there. But I didn't actually go and work out during that week. And I kind of felt bad about it. I was like, oh, well, the other branch is open. It's probably going to be really, really crowded, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get parking because the other branch is like downtown and parking is terrible. But I was just so scared to go because I was worried that it would be a crazy mess of people. So I didn't even go into the gym during those days. And then Monday, I was like, okay, gotta go to the gym. I left my house a little bit late. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get in time for a workout. It was like 6:35. I could have gone onto the stair stepper for 10 to 15 minutes, but instead I went and got gas. No, I went and got gas. It was like 6:35 when I pulled up, and then I just sat in the lobby and I sent an email, which isn't a bad way to spend my time, but I also was kind of scared, and I let that gym anxiety win, and I was like, oh, I'm scared that there's going to be a lot of people and I don't want to go, so I didn't go. And I kind of regret that choice, but I told myself on Tuesday it's going to be different. I'm going to go into the gym and I'm going to work out, and I practiced self-discipline. I remember texting my friend. I was like, guess who practiced self-discipline today? This girl. And she went to the gym and she did a workout even though she didn't feel like it. So I tried to tell myself, like, Kyla, you gotta do this because this is one of your habits, and you gotta go to the gym and you're gonna feel so much better after it. And I know you're tired, but that's gonna be your little, whew, I'm woken up. And my next thing is going to be healthy eating or 3 meals a day. So healthy eating, I don't want to be part of that toxic diet culture. My thing is that what I'm trying to implement is to make sure that I have 3 meals a day and make sure that I eat more like fresh foods and go for more like, I don't know, eating at home and eating like vegetables and getting all of the nutrients that I need in versus going out to eat and getting something pre-made. And I just wanted to talk about like the 3 meals a day thing because I feel like there's such a bad like either diet culture or just like, oh my goodness, you guys, words are not coming to my brain. Oh, but there's like really, really bad unhealthy eating disorders that a lot of girls my age and older go through. And, it's like so hard because the girls either you like undereat, anorexia, where you don't eat because you're worried about like you want to be skinnier, and like that's so scary, you guys, like body image issues. So I wanted to say that 3 meals a day could be the discipline that you work on. And that means like getting up and, making a bagel for that. And I saw this thing on Instagram today, and it was like the guilt you're feeling over eating the bagel is actually worse for you than the actual bagel itself. Like, the bagel is not going to harm you, and the ways that you feeling guilty about eating the yummy bagel is going to harm you. And my heart goes out to all of those girls who have, like, a harmed and a broken relationship with food because, you know what? God gave us this green earth, and this food for us to eat, and he wants us to eat from his beautiful garden and his beautiful world, and he wants us to enjoy ourselves and treat our body like a temple, and we can't treat our body like a temple without adequate food. So I think just trying to tell myself, like, eating that, like having a smoothie for breakfast, or eating that bagel for breakfast, or even making like breakfast ahead, like overnight oats, or what's the other one, muffins, or some kind of bread. Like making stuff ahead really helps you meet that breakfast and that lunch goal. And I'm definitely going to try and do more meal prep. I kind of want to read a book about it before I try it, and then I'll talk to you guys about it. But trying to do meal prep too, so then you're like, you know what, these are the healthy things that I'm going to eat, and you know what, it's good for me, it's healthy, and I feel like with me, with healthy foods, I feel a lot less guilty for eating like the healthy foods that I find yummy versus like unhealthy foods that might fill me up for a few hours, but you know, in the long run, I feel like if I go to Wendy's, not to bash on Wendy's and not to bash on the girls who go to Wendy's, because you guys, you gotta eat the fun foods too. Like, I gotta have those fries and those Frosties, but if I go to it a lot or if I eat out a lot, I know that I'm gonna feel a little bit guilty about that because I'm like, eating out isn't the healthiest for you. So trying to meal prep, and then also remembering that it's okay to eat out, it's okay to get those fries. You guys, I love fries. Oh my goodness, fries are my favorite thing. Oh. And getting that ice cream if you want ice cream. Like, make sure to eat what you want to eat, because you don't want your body, the temple, to be a broken, unhealthy thing, or you don't want to have like cracks in I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, what analogy I'm trying to do. But working out and eating healthy is actually not healthy if you don't have the fun side of things where you go out, you get that ice cream, you eat those fries from Wendy's, or even a chicken sandwich. You know, their chicken nuggets go so hard. I love their chicken nuggets. Or even Chick-fil-A. I've had Chick-fil-A once and it was amazing, you guys. I heart Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is the best, actually. So, getting that Chick-fil-A is amazing, and try not to feel guilty about it. And if you guys ever need like prayers for that, please tell me and I'll be praying for you, because I feel like we have such broken relationships with food, especially girls and even guys too. So just remember that, you know, a healthy eating doesn't mean that you have to eat gross spinach every single day. Although I kind of like spinach. Let's say artichokes and avocados. Although people like those things. I don't like those things. Like, find what you like, and then also remember that it's okay to go get that sweet thing. It's okay to spoil yourself. It's okay to get the fries that you love. It's okay to get the fries that you're craving, you know, because we we have we should enjoy the time that we're here, and we should enjoy the yummy food that God has given us. Okay. My third thing is our routines. So some ways that we need discipline in our routines is waking up in the morning. Everybody always talks about the Proverbs 31 woman. Let me find it, because I don't want to miss what is it? miss quote it, but it's like she like raises in the morning. Oh, she rises while it is yet night and provides food for household and portions for her maidens. So Proverbs 31 verse 15, she rises while it is yet night. So waking up early in the morning, and you guys, if you don't need to wake up early in the morning, if you have no reason to wake up at 5:30 a.m. because you don't have to be somewhere until like 9 a.m. I don't know. You don't have to wake up like 4 a.m. when it's still night out if that doesn't work with your schedule. Like, it's just saying that, you know, the goal is to get up in the morning and maybe not necessarily rising while it is still night, because you guys, if I were to rise while it was still night during winter time, I would probably have to rise at like 4 a.m. So I'm in summertime, not wintertime. wintertime, I go to school when it is night-ish. It's like the sun is raising when I'm going to school because I go to school at 7:30, and in Montana, like, we have a lot longer days during summer and a lot shorter days during winter. And if you live close to the equator, you have like the same amount all throughout the year. But yeah, so I don't think necessarily it's saying that you have to raise before the sun comes up. It's just saying that you have to wake up and get up and be productive in the morning. Like, that's what we're striving for. And it doesn't mean that you have to wake up at 4 a.m. every single morning, because for a lot of people that's not sustainable, and you're not going to be healthy if you're waking up at 4 a.m. 5:30, like 6 a.m. is a good thing to aim for. 6:30 a.m. just depends on when you need to get out the door and need to go do things. Okay. What was my next thing? Oh, so your personal cleanliness. So this is like washing your face, brushing your teeth, and doing your showers. So I hope most of us don't have problems with showers and brushing our teeth, but mainly just washing your face. So having that discipline to, every single night take off your makeup and wash your face, because it will make your skin so much healthier if you do that. So just a little encouragement to wash your face. And then what was I going to say? Yeah, so having that discipline in there and building those habits, I talked about routines in my routines episode, and then I talked about like washing your face and stuff in Holy Girl Summer Part 2, like lifestyle habits or something. I think it was my second episode. It might have been my third. It's in there. You'll be able to find it really easy if you need more stuff, more encouragement. And then my final thing is space cleanliness. This goes for me. I need better discipline in cleaning my room. I'm looking at a pile of clothes that is, yes, clean. I just have not folded it or put it away. So this is something that I need to grow in my discipline with. And then my final thing is going to be discipline with school. So staying on top of your assignments with a planner. Something that I struggled with last year was discipline with school. So trying to this year go in with like a academic mindset, and you can find so many fun things like a planner, or you could watch Gilmore Girls. Like, that has the immaculate study vibes. I watched a few episodes this summer, and then I was like, it's not school. Like, I feel very academically motivated right now for fall and winter, and it's the middle of summer. This is like not the summer show, so I'm like I kind of want to get into that show a little bit more during the school year, because I'm like, ooh, this is gonna motivate me. I'm gonna become a little Rory Gilmore. I want to get her sweater, all of that fun stuff. So just like finding inspiration, whether that's through like Pinterest, Instagram, Gilmore Girls, and then also having a planner to keep all of your assignments in check. Okay, and then my final thing, I have like little end notes with a little heart. So there's just 3 things. So the first thing is, do not compare. So comparison is the thief of joy. I cannot say this enough. So just because, I might seem to have an amazing life and I'm all put together, it doesn't mean that it's like that all the time. You guys, I can never stress enough how much of like how imperfect I am. I think for a lot of August, I didn't even read my Bible. I would go to church and I was part of a Bible study, so I definitely wasn't like far from God or whatever for August, but my personal Bible reading wasn't up to par as much as I wanted it to be. So just reminding yourself that comparison is literally the thief of joy. And I saw something today, and it was like, maybe it wasn't today, it was recently. It was, never compare yourself to that girl's like relationship with the Lord, because you never know what's going on underneath the surface. And just because, your Bible doesn't look like hers does not mean that your relationship with the Lord is any less important or any less good. So just remembering that we're all on different journeys, and just because, I highlight in my Bible and I write little notes on the side doesn't mean that you have to do that too, because we all study the Bible differently, and it's just whatever works with you. And, even if you don't read a physical Bible every day, if you listen to it in the car and that's the way that you get your Bible in, don't compare yourself to somebody who has the time to go read a physical Bible, because maybe that doesn't work in your schedule. All that matters is that you're striving to become the best version of yourself, your full godly potential, as I say, but having that discipline, as long as you have your self-discipline, then that is the main thing, and not letting comparison take away your joy and be that bad thing that everybody talks about. And then my second thing is to give really weird. But my second thing is to give yourself grace. So if you miss a workout or a Bible reading or miss one of your habits for a day, it's okay. I'm giving you guys a little heart, a little hug through the whatever you're listening this through the screen. I just want to give y'all a big hug, each and one of you, because you're supposed to give yourself grace. If you miss something, it's okay. It's okay, and you need to give yourself grace, and that's like the first thing that you guys should take away from this. I should have started with this talk, because we're not always going to have the most amazing self-discipline all the time. So make sure to give yourself grace. Okay, and then this leads into the third thing, is that if you fail once, get back up again. You guys, it's so easy for me to fail at my Bible reading, to miss my Bible reading one morning, and then I feel like, oh, I can't do it anymore. Oh, I have lost that habit. No, you have to get back up again, and you have to make the commitment to do it the next day. If you sleep in later than you want to and you end up having a rush morning, it does not mean that tomorrow has to be that same thing. So it's easy to stay down when you fall, but don't let that happen. Don't pick yourself back up again. Pray and be like, Lord, please forgive me for missing my time with you today, or please just forgive me for sleeping in. Please help tomorrow be better, and please help me get up tomorrow. So just remember that. And my final thing, which actually kind of has motivated me just remembering this, is when it gets hard, most people will quit. Don't be like most people. Be better. Just kidding. But I remember seeing this on a gym motivation TikTok where it was just a reminder, when going to the gym gets hard, that's when most people quit. When life gets busy, when you miss a week of stuff, that's when everybody quits, because you feel like you've fallen down and you can't get back up again. Don't be like most people. 90%, actually, I don't want to say statistic without it being true, but a lot of people will lose all of their self-discipline and lose all of their goals and lose sight of their goals, or lose all of their habits, because they decided that it got too hard and they don't want to do it anymore. And that just goes back into the very first thing that I was saying, is that you need to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like that. And self-discipline is so important for every single one of us. So make sure today that if you didn't read your Bible, make sure to go read it. It doesn't matter how late in the day you read it, because yes, I definitely fall into the trap of, oh, I didn't read it this morning. Oh no, guess I can't read it any other time. No, go read your Bible, sister. Go do that workout that you want to be. Go step outside. Go write in your prayer journal. Go wash your face. Practice self-discipline today. Make a little list of 3 to 5 goals that you want to work on, and just remind yourself of that list every single day. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all on the next episode. Not quite sure what day it's gonna be, but hopefully I'll get it out for you guys because I want to continue to pour into you guys throughout the school year. So yeah, just stay tuned. Lots of fun stuff coming up, and I'm super excited to start the school year off with all of you. Okay, bye guys. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you for listening to the end, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at thatchristiangirl.podcast. I'll see you in the next one.